Today, we're diving into 16 expenses that often trip up those striving for financial stability. While some may find this list controversial, our aim is to shed light on common spending habits that could be hindering progress. It's easy to lose track of where our money goes, but by examining these points, you might identify areas where you can make positive changes. Whether you're a newcomer or a regular viewer, join us in this exploration. Let's uncover 16 things that, if avoided, can pave the way for a more secure financial future. Don't forget to subscribe for more insights. And now, let's get started. First on our list, credit cards. Credit cards can be a slippery slope, especially for those struggling financially. It's akin to digging a hole deeper and deeper with no end in sight. When you use credit cards, you're essentially trading your future earnings for immediate gratification. Debt enslaves you, making you work not for your own goals, but to repay what you owe. Unfortunately, many fall into the trap of maxing out their credit cards on unnecessary purchases, perpetuating a cycle of debt that feels impossible to break free from. Next up, glam and beautification. It's baffling to see individuals splurge on elaborate nails and trendy haircuts while struggling to afford basic necessities. This behavior often holds people back from improving their financial situation. Think about it. You've toiled all week, only to spend your hard-earned money on a fleeting hairstyle or manicure, all to impress others who are likely in the same boat as you. Take a moment to observe successful individuals. Notice how they prioritize simplicity. Successful women entrepreneurs aren't adorned with flashy diamonds or extravagant nail art. It all boils down to priorities. Focus on fixing your life first, and then you'll have the means to indulge in luxuries. Instead of tossing money away on temporary enhancements, invest in building a solid foundation for your future. Moving on to number 3, impulse purchases. Do you really need 6 phone cases, funky socks, or kitchen appliances that gather dust after one use? The truth is, you're bombarded with marketing tactics that convince you to buy things you don't actually need. It's a constant battle between what you truly need and what you're led to believe you want. Once you distinguish between needs and wants, you'll gain control over your spending habits. Shockingly, studies reveal that the average Brit will spend over $150,000 on impulse purchases in their lifetime, while Americans dish out over $5,000 per year on such splurges. Imagine the possibilities if you redirected that money towards improving your life instead. Next on our list, food waste. Many people underestimate the amount of food they toss out. Despite buying with good intentions, a significant portion ends up in the trash. On average, individuals discard 40% of purchased vegetables, 17% of dairy products, and 14% of meat. Shockingly, the average American household wastes around $20,000 annually on uneaten food. Interestingly, food waste ratios remain consistent across income levels, but the impact is far more detrimental to those with limited financial resources. Number 5 on our list, miracle diets, strange fitness products, and teleshopping. Let's be real. It's unlikely that you'll shed 50% of your weight in 3 weeks by sipping on some miracle tea endorsed by an Instagram influencer or TV commercial. Those ultra-fit individuals you see endorsing these products, they're often personal trainers who dedicate countless hours to working out. It's literally their job. You don't need gimmicky gadgets like roll-up pianos, shake weights, or pajama jeans. How many times must we fall for these scams designed to exploit our desire for quick fixes? The truth is, getting in shape requires acknowledging that you're out of shape and committing to change. It's about eating sensibly and incorporating physical activity into your routine. No fancy products required. If you're struggling with motivation, consider listening to Extreme Ownership by Jocko Willink, available for free through our partnership with Audible. Take responsibility for your choices and watch as your life transforms. Number 6. Lucky charms or spiritual items. It's ironic how individuals struggling financially often spend what little money they have on items like Lucky Charms or crystals, believing they'll attract wealth. But let's get real. If you want to be $49 richer, don't blow that $49 on rocks. And no, calling them crystals or minerals doesn't change the fact that it's essentially throwing money away. As for spiritual items, the pressure to purchase crosses or religious artifacts in certain cultures can be overwhelming. But let's not overlook the fact that these organizations often prey on the financially vulnerable, exploiting what little they have. It's time to prioritize practical investments over superstitions. Number 7, health. It's time to confront the dragon of health before it grows too big to handle. Ignoring health issues only allows them to worsen and wreak havoc on your life. Avoiding the dentist because you don't want to deal with a cavity? Prepare for the hefty cost of a dental implant instead. Skipping routine checkups? You might end up hospitalized down the line, and trust me, that's far more expensive. It's a simple truth. It's more economical to invest in preventive care than to face the consequences of neglect. Turning a blind eye to health problems won't make them disappear. It's a strategy that benefits no one. Number 8, games and in-app purchases. Let's talk numbers. A staggering 70% of Fortnite players shell out cash within the game, with the average spend per player reaching $84.67. Candy Crush, on the other hand, rakes in a jaw-dropping $3 million daily from in-app purchases. But the real cost isn't just in dollars, it's in time. Think about the countless hours you pour into these games, easily totaling over 1,000 hours a year for avid gamers. When you break it down, the average gamer earns over $20 per hour. That's potentially $20,000 you're forfeiting annually, not to mention the initial costs of purchasing the game, console, and additional in-game purchases. It's time to reconsider where you're investing your time and money. Number 9, the latest tech. It's baffling to see individuals who are clearly struggling financially splurge on the newest gadgets every year. Sure, you might have the cash to purchase the latest iPhone, but can you truly afford it? There's a distinction there. Similarly, do you really need that oversized flat-screen TV when your home is in need of maintenance? Consider the product life cycle. Those who take care of their belongings can enjoy them for longer, ultimately saving money on maintenance or the need for premature replacements. It's about prioritizing needs over wants and making smart, sustainable choices for your budget. Number 10, balling at the club. Sure, it's exhilarating to be the center of attention, popping bottles at the club while everyone admires your extravagant display. But let's face it, those fleeting moments of glory are overshadowed by the harsh reality of returning to your mundane 9-to-5 grind for another month, just to relive it all over again. True success isn't measured by how much you flaunt at the club or how high your bar tab climbs. In reality, you're just a pawn in someone else's game, allowing them to profit off your desire to impress others who are likely in the same financial boat. There's a saying among the wealthy: I never see you at the club, and I never see you at the bank. It's time to prioritize building real wealth over superficial displays of extravagance. Number 11, gambling. It's a slippery slope, believing that spending money will lead to making money, especially when it comes to lottery tickets. Unfortunately, many struggling financially invest disproportionately in scratch tickets, slot machines, and casino games, all in pursuit of that elusive big win. But the reality is bleak. The average Australian loses nearly $1,000 annually to gambling. In the UK, a staggering 70% of the population regularly plays the lottery. A Yale University study in 2012 revealed that those in the lowest socioeconomic bracket had the highest rate of lottery gambling, with 61% participating, averaging 26.1 days of gambling in the previous year. Gambling can quickly spiral out of control, draining finances and exacerbating financial struggles. It's time to rethink where your money goes and seek healthier avenues for financial growth. Number 12, smoking and vaping. It's no surprise that those prone to gambling are also susceptible to other addictions like smoking and vaping. While the cost of a single pack of cigarettes varies, the average sits around $6.28. That may not seem like much, but for a pack-a-day smoker, that's $188 per month or $2,209 per year. Over a decade, that habit racks up a staggering $22,920. And depending on where you live, those costs only escalate. If both partners smoke or vape, that's a month's worth of work just to cover the habit. With approximately 1.1 billion smokers worldwide and vaping gaining popularity, it's evident that these habits are not only detrimental to health, but also to financial stability. Number 13, your bank. Surprisingly, your bank could be draining your finances. You're hit with fees for depositing and withdrawing money, and let's not forget the laughable interest rates that barely keep pace with inflation. In a volatile economy, stashing your cash in a traditional bank can actually cost you in both the short and long term. With society evolving rapidly, old strategies for saving money no longer hold up. That's why we suggest exploring alternatives to traditional banking, such as strategies outlined in books like Money Master the Game, which offer insights into putting your money to work more effectively. Number 14, your taxes. It's a harsh reality that those with lower incomes often end up paying a larger portion of their earnings in taxes compared to the wealthy. The rich leverage their wealth to create more value in the marketplace, and as a result, they're rewarded for it. This disparity in tax burden is something we've discussed in a previous video titled 15 Things Poor People Get Wrong About Money. It's concerning how many people celebrate receiving a tax return, unaware that it's essentially their own money being returned to them. Moreover, by overpaying taxes throughout the year, you're essentially giving the government an interest-free loan. With smarter financial management, you could be holding on to more of your hard-earned money instead of giving it away unnecessarily. Number 15, donations. Brace yourself because this one might ruffle some feathers. The truth is, when you donate money to a cause, it often doesn't go directly to those in need. Instead, a significant portion is allocated to paying the salaries of those involved with the charity. Charities, unfortunately, can be one of the biggest scams out there, preying on the generosity of the poor. Consider this. The general manager of a charity, essentially the organization's top executive, earns an average salary of $250,000 per year, funded by the charity itself. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Around 35% of donated funds are reinvested into fundraising efforts, perpetuating a cycle of inefficiency and mismanagement. Rather than blindly donating, consider alternative ways to support causes, such as purchasing products for local shelters or creating opportunities for those in need. Remember the age-old adage, teach a man to fish and you feed him for a lifetime. It's time to rethink how we approach charitable giving and strive for more impactful solutions. Number 16, trying to look rich. We touched on this concept 2 weeks ago when we emphasized the importance of learning until you earn it rather than faking it until you make it. Let's illustrate with a scenario. 2 people are each given $2,000. One decides to splurge at the club, spending $800 and showcasing their extravagant night on social media. The other chooses to invest their money, yielding a 10% return, resulting in $2,200. While one appears to be living large, the other is actually growing their wealth. Remember, the goal isn't to look rich, it's to become rich. Your actions should always stem from a place of growth and progress. If you're ready to make positive changes in your life, comment "Grow" below. It's time to prioritize real wealth over superficial appearances. Don't forget to like and subscribe to stay updated with our latest videos.